Welcome CERN alumni and welcome everyone to CERN. Today we're coming live from the CERN Control Center, the CCC. I'm Rachel Bray and I'm head of CERN Alumni Relations. Now today is a very special day for the CERN Alumni Network because today on the 8th of June we're celebrating the 5th anniversary. Now this network is composed of outstanding individuals who've developed skills and talents during their time at CERN and have gone on to contribute to making a better world in their subsequent careers. Furthermore, many alumni have maintained their strong links with the organisation and are actively supporting CERN in its mission. To celebrate World CERN Alumni Day, we're going to meet some inspirational alumni and some very special guests in this amazing environment. So stay tuned. Network now has more than 7,740 members. So if you've worked at CERN or you're currently working at CERN and you haven't joined yet, you can do so by going to alumni.cern and clicking on the Join Now button. And here you'll discover all the benefits of being a member of this vibrant community, such as an inclusive network of like-minded people with a shared experience, mentoring, a targeted jobs board, impactful events, and of course, staying connected with CERN and its people. Now, keep watching as we'll be giving away some amazing CERN alumni prizes in our quiz, so listen carefully. Now today, we're extremely lucky to be broadcasting from the CCC, or the CERN Control Center, which is the nerve center of the CERN beam system. The people here in the 5 consoles are working 24/7 to get everything ready for Run 3. A little bit later on, we'll be talking to Rende Stierenberg, who's head of the operations group for the Beams department, who'll tell us more about that. But first, let's go all the way to Madrid and meet CERN alumna Ana Mejia.
Hi, Rachel.
Hola, Ana. And thanks very much for joining us today to celebrate the 5th anniversary of the CERN Alumni Network. Now, I'd like to begin by talking to you about your CERN experience. You worked at CERN in the extra low energy antiproton, so ELENA, deceleration ring between 2015 and 2016. So can you tell us what it was like working at CERN?
Yeah, it was amazing. I arrived to CERN in 2015 to take care of the commissioning and the startup of an ion source that was there to help in the commissioning of ELENA ion ring. So there was this ion source that could produce H+ and H- ions in order to test all the different parts of ELENA. So when I arrived there, there was this empty space on a platform, and then a few days later, a huge truck arrived full of parts of the ion source. So my first task was to unload the truck and really put everything together, power supplies, high voltage to get the source running. And then I used the last months of my period there to test the ion source itself and to find the right set of parameters that the ion source could produce the best beam for ELENA. So it was a huge thing to do, very funny. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it sounds like an incredible experience and actually quite a responsibility. So I understand that after leaving CERN, one of the things you did was you set up your own company, Ion Biotech. Could you tell us what this startup does, please?
Yeah, arriving at CERN can be a little bit scary. It's very big, there is a lot of people there, but finally you are in charge of your own project. So this is something that gives you a lot of professional self-confidence. So I have thought about having my own company before, But I didn't gather kind of the self-esteem to really do it. And while I was there, a colleague sent me a link saying, "Did you know that plasmas could be used for medicine?" So I Googled plasma medicine and I started to think, wow, this is something that really has a huge impact on medicine. It's something that we can build together. So I used part of my time at CERN to attend these conferences for entrepreneurs. And when I came back to Spain, we started, my colleague and myself together, Ion Biotech. So there we developed cold atmospheric plasma technology, especially for veterinary and human health, but also for food technology. So this is still a startup. We don't have a big company yet, but we are in the process of starting a collaboration with a big hospital, the Clínica Universidad de Navarra in Spain, to be able to run a clinical trial. And I really hope that in a few months we will arrive to get results and to arrive to the health market there.
I really hope so too, Anna. I'm really looking forward to seeing how your company and your device develops in the coming years and the impact that it will have on patients suffering with injuries that you're going to be able to heal with your plasma. Now, Anna, the CERN Alumni Network didn't exist when you left CERN, but now it does. Can you explain how alumni can contribute to the network and support CERN?
Yeah, I think it's important that we help each other because I think we acquire pretty special capabilities while working at CERN, but CERN is so big that between all of us, there are many capabilities that we can share. And then when we go out of CERN and out of academia, we can end up doing pretty different things. So I think there is a huge impact in helping each other in such a way that we can put our work together and help other people. In my case, with Rita and other people, we are thinking about starting the medtech alumni group because I think medtech it's a path that would be pretty difficult for people coming from research. Really, there is a lot of law involved, a lot of rules. So I think currently, probably I could help some people that is behind the process of arriving to having a medical device. But of course, I think there are people on the network that are by far ahead of ourselves. So I can also get some experience from other people, other backgrounds, and other stages of the path. So I really think that we could gather and give some help to each other.
Yeah. So Anna, you were really what we would call a CERN alumni ambassador, supporting those who are in their early careers, but then also demonstrating the positive impact of a CERN alumni on society. I really look forward to the creation of the CERN Alumni medtech group. So thanks for all your support and for being with us today. All the best, Anna, and see you soon.
Thanks, Rachel. See you soon.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. So how fascinating to see CERN alumni having this impact. Now, I hope you are following carefully because we're about to give away our first CERN alumni gift, and that's going to be a CERN alumni umbrella. So the first person to write in the chat the name of Anna's company will win an amazing CERN alumni umbrella. Good luck, everyone. So you heard it here first. There's a CERN Alumni medtech group in the pipeline. So that's something for you all to look out for. Now, staying in the realms of medtech, many of you will know that CERN is the world's largest particle physics laboratory. But did you know that the technologies and scientific advances behind high-energy physics through developments in accelerators, detectors, and computing have historically contributed to healthcare? CERN contributes to medical innovation through its cutting-edge technologies, competencies, and know-how. Now, these are being used in areas related to medical diagnostics and imaging, therapy, dosimetry, as well as digital technologies for health applications. And this brings us nicely to my next guest. Here to tell us more about this is Rita Pino, who's from the Knowledge Transfer Group at CERN. Hello, Rita, and thanks very much for joining us today to celebrate the 5th anniversary of the CERN Alumni Network.
Hi, Rachel. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Rita. So I was wondering if you could provide us with some examples of medical innovations to which CERN contributes, please.
Yeah, sure. As you just said, I work in medical applications, and I'm based in the knowledge transfer group, where we are in charge of identifying and realizing opportunities for CERN's know-how to be applied in fields other than particle physics. So the whole idea is to maximize the impact of CERN technologies and expertise on society, in particular through our member states and associated member states. And healthcare is a domain in which CERN has long and successful track record. That's the idea of the medtech group Anna just mentioned. And today I'll give you a quick overview of 4 projects we have ongoing in different fields. So we can start with He3+, Heavy Iron Therapy Research Integration. That is a EU-funded project that intends to propel research on cancer treatment with heavy ions through the development of cutting-edge technologies. The animation you'll soon see on the background refers to flash therapy. This is an impressive project where our technologies precisely match the need of our clinical partners. So here we are working quite closely with the Lausanne University Hospital, SUV, in the development of cutting-edge technologies for next-generation cancer therapy, and on a facility for treating tumors with very high energy electrons at ultra high dose rates. Another of the projects I want to bring today is Medipix. That is a family of readout chips for particle imaging and detection. The original concept of Medipix is that it works like a camera, detecting and counting each individual particle hitting the pixels when the electronic shutter open. So this enables high resolution, high contrast, and very reliable images, which are all advantages for healthcare. So one of our success cases is a startup, Mars Bioimaging, in 2018, using this technology, produced the first 3D colored X-ray of a human, and this gives access to new diagnostic information for the clinicians. And finally, I'll touch on one more project that this year has been nominated as one of the finalists of the Jet Door Innovation Award at the Geneva Health Forum, that is Caffeine. Caffeine is a federated learning platform for collaborative AI training. And this platform is an AI-based tool to assist clinicians, patients, and caregivers in the analysis, diagnostics, and the prognosis of disease, because it enables multiple entities to collaboratively build these prediction models without compromising data privacy. I hope this gives a flavor.
Fantastic. Thanks for that very comprehensive overview, Rita. So something that springs to mind is that maybe there are some alumni watching who work in a large company or an SME or perhaps a startup, and they want to tap into CERN technology or know-how, or they'd like help to identify solutions based on CERN's area of expertise. So can you tell us, what should they do?
Well, whether you work in a large company, an SME, a startup, research institute, or hospital, we can help you tap into CERN technologies, know-how, and identify those solutions based on our areas of expertise. Of course, each case is unique, and there are many potential ways to collaborate. So if you are unsure how to benefit from CERN's expertise, please contact us, and we would be happy to discuss if there is a fit between your needs and our expertise on services. You can also take a look at our technologies portfolio online. I believe someone will be posting the link in the chat, but knowledge transfer technology portfolio, if you Google that, you'll be able to find it and see what we have available for scientific and commercial purposes through different tech transfer opportunities. There you have the chance to read more about our technologies, but please don't hesitate to contact us at kt@cern.ch if you have any inquiries.
Thank you, Rita, and thanks for sharing this information with us and for joining us today. So there you have it. If you need to, you have all you need to know if you want to tap into CERN technology or know-how. Thanks, Rita. Now, let's meet some more super engaged CERN alumni. This time, we're heading to one of CERN's 23 member states and the country I come from, the UK. And our first guest is Spiros Papadopoulos, who is a senior quant. Welcome, Spiros. Are you there?
Hello. Hello, Rachel.
Hi, Spiros. How are you? Thanks for joining us today. Well, we can see Petri, but we can't see Spiros. Petri's coming next. Well, I'm sure we'll see Spiros in a moment. So welcome, Spiros, and thank you so much for celebrating CERN Alumni Day with us. Whilst we're looking for your, bringing you up on the screen, I was wondering, Spiros, because you're a very strong supporter of the CERN Alumni Network and also CERN, and you're a member of the CERN Alumni Advisory Board. So I was wondering, why is it important for you to maintain your connections and also support the network?
Well, there are many good reasons, right? One is keeping in touch with and actually engaging with other alumni is simply fun, right? It's fun interacting with other scientifically minded and intellectually curious people. Then it's actually quite interesting. And what I find that makes it particularly interesting is that CERN alumni, once they leave CERN, when they leave CERN, they are located all around the world, and they follow quite diverse career paths. So whether you are interested in computer game development, climate change, or what is going on in the startup ecosystem, this is the right place to go, right? And I think this shows why it is also important for everyone to support CERN's mission through this particular project, the Alumni Network, as investing in CERN, in my opinion, is not only about investing in the advancement of fundamental science, but also investing in people. And the network is probably one of the best proofs that this investment has paid off. Part of CERN's mission is to unite people from all over the world to advance science and technology for the benefit of all. Right. The Alumni Network provides us the opportunity and provides people who left CERN the opportunity to continue serving this goal. And I think that I was happy to have the chance to contribute to the growth of the network by providing some thoughts on the strategic direction of it through the Alumni Advisory Board. But this is just one way to contribute, and there are multiple other ways. For example, by organizing a local group or simply interacting with other alumni. And I would encourage everyone to do that. I think it is fun and can provide multiple benefits.
Thank you, Spiros. Indeed, it's a lot of fun interacting with CERN alumni, but one of the goals of the Alumni Network is to develop such a network of ambassadors. And to achieve this goal, it's really important for our alumni to maintain a strong connection with the organisation and, of course, its people. And so this is one of the reasons why we're bringing you back to CERN and in particular to the CCC. Now, another way in which CERN alumni can maintain this strong connection with the lab and other alumni is through CERN alumni regional groups. And now, staying in London, let's introduce Petri Lehtonen, who is CEO at a company called Flowtrace. He's also a CERN alumnus, and he's one of the CERN Alumni London co-managers, along with Spiros. Hi, Petri, and thanks for being with us today to celebrate the 5th anniversary of the CERN Alumni Network.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi. So these regional groups, Spiros touched on it a little bit a moment ago, these regional groups play an important role in staying connected to the organisation. But, what other role do they play, in your opinion?
So yeah, I really would answer this from our regular meetups point of view. And here in London, we organize them on a quarterly basis. And in these meetups, there are two aspects what comes to my mind. First of all, it's a social gathering. And this is a reminder for me about the Restaurant One and those lunch breaks and after work sessions we used to have. Those conversations about the technology, politics, economy, and, those varied topics. I'm sure we all have our own memories about it. And those fond memories, and we can recreate them and create new ones. It's an amazing opportunity for that one. Then on the other point of view, it's also a professional networking environment. Couple of things come to my mind. 10, 15 years ago, when I moved from academia to industry, there was not really that much guidance as per se, what hurdles there might be. So with the recent alumni, it's great to actually share and discuss these topics with them and support them on their journey. And something that is really close by to my own heart is actually the career goals and aspirations. I'm from a startup background, and this is definitely something that I hear all the time about opportunities here and there. And, in the best of the cases, I can connect people to these opportunities. Those two things came to my mind.
CERN alumni that are based in London. We really very much appreciate it. And thanks for being today with us to celebrate the 5th anniversary of the network. Now, in a few moments, we're going to be hearing from Rende Stierenberg, who'll be telling us more about his role, the progress made during the long shutdown, and also the milestones reached since with the restart in April. But first, another fantastic CERN alumni umbrella is up for grabs. So the first person to write in the chat the correct answer will win one of these lovely umbrellas. Now, in which city are Spiros and Petri based? Good luck. Now, I'm sure you're all very excited to hear from Rende Stierenberg, who's head of the operations group for the Beams department. And I'm delighted to say he's here with us now. Thanks, Rende, for joining us.
You're most welcome. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. Now, you're responsible for the operations within the LHC, which is quite a responsibility, I imagine. We recently came out of the long shutdown too. So what went on during that time?
Okay, so in fact we're preparing for the high luminosity LHC period, and this means that we have two big projects that are running, and one was completed during LS2. So the injectors that provide the beam for the LHC has been upgraded, which means that we made many modifications to the machine in order to produce brighter beams. So this means if you have brighter beams, it means more particles per square millimeter. And you can imagine that if you transport this, you fast forward towards the LHC, more particles per square millimeter coming together means more collisions. And that's what we do for. And then the second stage of what we need to do in order to finish off this HL-LHC, high luminosity LHC project, is to upgrade the LHC itself. And this is going to happen during the long shutdown 3. In between the long shutdown 3 and the long shutdown 2 we had is run 3, and that's where we're today. So today we have restarted all the accelerators, all the injectors I should say, and we are restarting the LHC.
So Rende, it sounds like a huge amount of work. Could you, but I'm sure there's been some milestones that have been reached since the LS2. Could you name some of those or explain some of the milestones for us, please?
No, I think one of the main milestones which we had foreseen to reach following the long shutdown 2 is, of course, this performance increase in the injectors. And we had a performance plan to gradually during run 3, so 22, 23, 24, to go up in performance. And we're already ahead of this, in fact. So if you think that before the long shutdown 2, we produced the LHC beam and injected beam into the LHC with 140 billion particles per bunch, per package. And we need to go up to 2.3 billion. And that's for the HL-LHC. And in the injectors, already in the first part of the injectors, we already reached this goal within the correct beam sizes as well. In the SPS last week, we made also some studies and tests, and we managed to go up to 1.7, so 1.7 billion protons in such a package. So these are real milestones in the injectors. All the fixed target physics in the injectors have been re-established as it should. And then, of course, in the LHC, there we have also some milestones. One is that we have to increase the energy of the LHC. So prior to long shutdown 2, we were running at 6.5 tera-electron volt. And we have been training the magnets up to 6.8 tera-electron volts. So this means a little bit more energy. And then the other thing is that we now are preparing the LHC in order to get the full beam back into the machine. And one of the milestones we reached is that we indeed brought up the beam to this 6.8 tera-electron volts. And this is for the first time ever on the world that somebody reached this energy with a particle accelerator.
Congratulations. It's also very exciting.
We should congratulate the team. They did it.
Well, congratulations to the whole team. Yeah, wonderful. So those of you who follow CERN will know that on the 22nd of April, we restarted the LHC. And shortly, as Rende said, we'll be beginning run 3. Can you explain the difference between restart and run 3, please?
Yeah, so during run 2 we had a set of parameters which we could reach, and now what we're going to do is we are restarting the LHC, which means that we just put a few bunches into the LHC. We commission all the systems and all the protection systems, and this we do with what we call so-called safe beams, because once the LHC is full, one beam normally contains 320 megajoules. Now, just to give an idea what 320 megajoules is, it's one of these TGV trains, these French rapid trains. If you make it ride at 150 kilometers an hour, there is 320 megajoules stored in that train. So a similar amount of energy is stored in the beam in the LHC. So this is quite destructive to the machine if you don't treat it right. So therefore, we have loads and loads of protection systems, measurement systems, etc., etc. And all these systems one by one to be commissioned, validated, and so on. And this is what we're doing right now with a few bunches in the machine, so that even if it goes wrong, it doesn't damage the machine. And then the next step, and this will start next week, we're going to inject more bunches. And this is to prepare the machine and to look at the behavior of the machine at low energy. Then we're going to return to a few bunches, and then we're going to make the first real collisions and create stable beams. And this will happen on the 5th of July. And this is when Run 3 actually starts.
And so we can start taking data.
That's when we start taking data.
Great.
Initially with only a few bunches, but very quickly afterwards we're going to increase stepwise the number of bunches in the machine. So initially the first collisions on the 5th of July will be 3 bunches against 3 bunches. The aim is to put something like 2,800 bunches against 2,800 bunches.
Wow.
So,
So everyone has to stay tuned for that. Well, thank you so much, Rende, for giving us that amazing insight, and also for joining us and allowing us to broadcast from the CCC.
No, it was really a pleasure to have you here, and it's always good to have people knowing what we do.
Yeah, and it's great that our alumni can see into this hive of activity.
Yeah,
it's very, very exciting. Thank you so much, Rende.
You're most welcome.
So, as we've heard earlier, one of the goals of the Alumni Network is to support those who are in their early careers once they decide to leave the organisation. But we also have alumni contributing to promoting opportunities here at CERN. Can you imagine what it'd be like to work in the world's largest scientific experiment? CERN needs more than physicists and engineers. If you're a student, a graduate, or you're just starting your career, or you're an experienced professional, whatever your field of expertise, CERN could be your next opportunity. Now, our next guest is CERN alumna Julia Hellström. She comes from Sweden and works in the Industrial Liaison Office of Big Science for Sweden. And she's been a fervent supporter of the Alumni Network and also CERN in promoting these opportunities. So Julia, first and foremost, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Rachel. Thank you.
Hi, thank you. I was wondering, why do you think that CERN alumni are ideally placed to promote such opportunities at CERN?
Well, yes, naturally, someone that already have had an experience at CERN can quite easily, in discussion with others, share how it is to be at CERN for your work or your studies, and paint a picture of the everyday life on site. And my impression is that most people who are interested in applying to any position at CERN hesitate mostly because they struggle to fit themselves and their objectives and experiences with the work at a particle physics research facility. And here, I think that alumni can play a great role in bridging the gap and show how CERN played a part in their career and how different career profiles fit in different projects. And not to be forgotten is that many of the programs are for students or early career paths, which means that the most essential is not to come with a full set of skills and knowledge perfectly tailored for particle physics. This is quite hard to achieve when you are young and you follow a standard education at a university, for example. Instead, in my point of view, the most fruitful approach is to make sure you educate yourself in something you are passionate about. And you make sure you learn well the basic skills in your field and then apply to CERN with an open mind. And if you are then selected, you will, during your time at CERN, be followed by a supervisor and you will learn on the job. And in many ways, I see it as a way you earn your work title. And I mean, taking myself as an example, I wasn't seeing myself as a vacuum science engineer before my 3 years at CERN, but now it is a part of my work identity. And as an alumni, it still helps me to this day.
That's great to hear, Julia. So CERN, your experience at CERN has really shaped your professional career, in fact. Now, if any of you alumni out there are interested in promoting the opportunities at CERN within your former universities or your schools, you can find ready-made presentations on the alumni.cern platform, but you can also contact the alumni relations team and we can provide you with more information and put you in contact with the appropriate colleagues. So thank you, Julia. One question for you is the following: why is CERN such a great place to work?
Well, if I would take the question personally, I would say that the thing I appreciate the most with CERN is the spirit of international and European collaboration. And I really enjoyed spending time in a work environment with colleagues who have talents and are experts in different fields. And I find it quite rare to spend time in an organization that is very well functioning with a high flux of people. It means that everything needs to work from like the introductory safety courses to the language education and project management. And then some people will stay for longer, some will do their career at CERN, but most commonly you will move forward in your career in other ways and you take your CERN experience with you as a CERN alumni. And I mean, again, speaking from my own point of view, no matter in which part of the industry or academia I have ended up, my work experience at CERN has only given me positive feedback and I would say an increased credibility in my skills. And this is also why I'm happy that in my current position as a part of the Industrial Liaison Office for Big Science Facilities in Sweden, we have now been given a mandate in outreach for CERN. And in short, it means that we will make planned and targeted efforts to promote CERN as an employer for Swedish students, for Swedish engineers and scientists. And in our ILO office, we often discuss the importance of industrial return to Swedish industry. But it is just as important to also have Swedes spending a part of their career path at CERN. And for us, Swedish CERN alumni are a great asset in the Swedish industry and academia. And we truly see it as a win-win situation if we can manage to increase the number of Swedish applications to CERN.
I fully agree, Julia. Now go ahead. You can say a few words in Swedish if you like to attract those young students to come and work at CERN.
Yes, ja, jättegärna. Maila mig, ring oss, sök till de olika CERN-programmen. Det är kul.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your support. Now, thanks, Julia, for joining us. We are now nearing the end of this very special LinkedIn Live to celebrate the 5th anniversary of the CERN Alumni Network. But before we leave you, we have a very special guest who has seen the network grow from its inception to now over 7,740 members. I'm delighted to introduce to you our Director for International Relations, Charlotte Varukale. Welcome and thank you so much, Charlotte, for joining us today. Charlotte, we've seen several CERN alumni today who are really champing at the bit to support CERN. In your opinion, what can CERN alumni do to support the organisation?
Thank you very much, Rachel. And first of all, thank you for today. Thank you to all the alumni who've taken part, and congratulations to you and to the team.
Thank you
for all the successes, and then congratulations to the 7,700 members. Of course, the CERN Alumni Network is really all about community. It's about extending that sense of community that alumni had when they were working at CERN. CERN alumni are knowledgeable, they're passionate, they're committed, they're great ambassadors for fundamental research and for CERN and for the role of CERN also in having an impact on society. So for us, they're just the most fantastic ambassadors for what we do and for the impact that fundamental research has on society. So we encourage them all to stay connected, fill in their profiles, we keep stressing that, and to stay connected with us and with each other, because it's a fantastic resource for the organization, but the alumni are also great resources for each other, and I think that's an important message today.
Yeah, absolutely, they are very supportive. Now, talking about fundamental research, etc., the United Nations General Assembly has proclaimed that 2022 is the International Year of Basic Sciences for Sustainable Development. Now, this initiative is championed by the International Union of Pure and Applied Physics, together with other international scientific unions and international scientific organisations across the world, including CERN. And I know you're very much involved in this. So is this something you think that CERN alumni can also be involved in?
I think there's a short answer to that, and that is absolutely. And of course, when it comes to the SDGs and the role of fundamental research, this is a subject very close to my heart. The SDGs and the whole Global Goals agenda is a very important blueprint for a better world, and it's clear that fundamental research has a really important place in that and must be part of that collective effort. And CERN alumni are particularly important to that. CERN is already de facto contributing to 7 of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals on health, on education, on gender, on innovation, on energy, on peaceful societies, and also on partnerships. All of our activities really feed into that, and we make a concerted effort to make sure that particularly a lot of our outreach events can make a contribution. And CERN alumni are themselves the most fantastic example of the impact that fundamental research has on society, and many of them are involved in activities that support and promote the Sustainable Development Goals and really help advance us towards a better world. So I very much hope that our alumni will take this opportunity of the International Year to get engaged, both with us. I know the alumni program has activities planned. CERN has different activities planned. The International Union of Pure and Applied Physics and many others have many activities planned. And I just want to stress that the International Year starts on the 8th of July with a big event at UNESCO in Paris, but it's supposed to conclude in September of 2023 at the CERN Science Gateway, which will be open by then. So this will also be an opportunity to see this fantastic facility.
Wonderful. An opportunity for CERN alumni to come back to CERN and visit and reconnect and get involved. Thank you so much, Charlotte.
Thank you, Rachel, and congratulations.
Your support. Thank you very much, and thanks for joining us today and for all your support over the years.
Thank you.
Thanks also to all our special guests, Rende, and all our alumni who joined us today, who are making an impact and supporting the organisation. Now, if you've ever worked at CERN, or you are indeed working at CERN, and you've not joined the network yet, I'd like to invite you to join by clicking on alumni.cern and the join button. By doing this, you'll gain access to an exclusive network of people who have a similar experience to you and who are willing to provide valuable support and advice. Now, we also really want to know what's happened to you and how your career has flourished since you've left. So as Charlotte said, when you join the network, make sure you complete your profiles and you tell us about it, and we can feature you in CERN alumni spotlights. Now, joining the network will allow you to stay connected with CERN. You'll find out about all these exciting events that Charlotte mentioned earlier on. You'll also be able to stay connected with other members of the High Energy Network and people at CERN. And if you or your company wishes to recruit from within the CERN alumni talent pool, you can also advertise your job opportunities on our platform. And of course, if you want to find out more about what our alumni are doing and the impact they have on society, then go to alumni.cern and check out the news rubric so that you can see the spotlights on CERN alumni. Now, contact us also if you want to be more engaged with the network. Now, thanks once again to all our guests and also to you for watching. And now we have a very, very special treat for you and a world premiere. Get ready for Run 3.
Give me some protons.
The LHC Run 3 is starting up now.
Accelerator mode proton physics.
It is a very exciting moment because we had now 3 years of technical stop.
Beam mode ramp.
There will be new detectors, new ways to read out all the data.
As you may know, the LHCb detector has had many changes. A lot of pieces have been changed, and we're really looking forward to see the performances of this new shiny detector and also all of the physics performances.
The priority for Alice in Run 3 is the study of the collision of heavy nuclei, the lead nuclei.
LHC experiments plan to collect more data during LHC Run 3 than they did in the first 2 runs combined.
Most physicists expect that there should be some new particles beyond the standard model.
Beam mode flat top. Beam mode stable beams.
if there is new physics out there, we'll find it.
This is a good question.